Welcome, little listeners, to tonight's bedtime story on our magical podcast, where dreams take flight and adventures are as big as your imagination. Tonight, we invite you to join us on a journey with young Tommy as he faces his fears and discovers the magic of his first day at school. So, sit back, relax, and let your mind wander as we begin our tale. The night before his first day of school, Tommy tossed and turned in his bed. His favourite teddy bear, Mr. Snuggles, was clutched tightly to his chest. "What if no one likes me, Mr. Snuggles?" Tommy whispered. "What if I can't do any of the work? What if I get lost?" His mother peeked into his room. "Tommy, sweetie, you should be asleep. Big day tomorrow." "Can't sleep, Mum," Tommy said, his voice quivering. "I'm scared." His mother sat on the edge of his bed and stroked his hair. "It's okay to feel nervous, Tommy, but I promise you everything will be all right. You know what? School can be really fun. You'll get to learn new things, play games, and make friends. I bet you'll have a great time." Tommy looked up at his mum, his eyes wide. "Really? You think it might be fun?" "I'm sure of it," she smiled, tucking him in. "Now, try to get some sleep. Tomorrow is going to be an exciting day." Tommy nodded, feeling a bit more relaxed. He hugged Mr. Snuggles and closed his eyes, thinking about the fun he might have at school. The next morning, Tommy's father called from downstairs. "Tommy, time to get up, champ." Tommy pulled the covers over his head. "I don't want to go," he mumbled. His father appeared in the doorway. "Come on, buddy. Your favourite breakfast is waiting, chocolate chip pancakes." At the breakfast table, Tommy just pushed his food around the plate. "Tommy," his mother said gently, "you need to eat to have energy for your big day." "What if I don't know anyone?" Tommy asked, his eyes welling up. His father smiled reassuringly. "That's the exciting part, son. You'll make new friends. Remember how you met your best friend Jake at the park? This is just like that, but with more kids to play with." Tommy took a small bite of his pancake, trying to believe his father's words. As they approached the school building, Tommy's grip on his mother's hand tightened. The school seemed enormous, and there were so many children. "It is so big," Tommy whispered, his eyes wide. A friendly-looking woman approached them. "Hello there. I'm Mrs. Parker, the school counsellor. What's your name?" Tommy hid behind his mother's leg. His mother gently encouraged him. "It's okay, Tommy. Mrs. Parker just wants to say hello." "Hi," Tommy managed to squeak out. I'm Tommy." Mrs. Parker knelt down to his level. "Well, Tommy, I'm so glad you're here. Do you know what? Everyone feels a little scared on their first day, even the big kids. But I have a feeling you're going to have a great time." Tommy nodded, feeling a tiny bit better. In the classroom, Tommy met his teacher, Miss Johnson. She had a warm smile and a colourful dress covered in alphabet letters. "Welcome, Tommy," she said cheerfully. "Your desk is right over here, next to Sarah." Tommy looked at his parents, panic rising in his chest. "Don't go," he pleaded. His father knelt beside him. "Remember what we talked about being brave? This is your chance, Tommy. We'll be right here to pick you up after school." His mother added, "And you can tell us all about your exciting day." With a deep breath, Tommy nodded and walked to his desk. He turned to wave at his parents, who blew him kisses as they left. During morning introductions, Miss Johnson asked each student to share their favourite animal. "Tommy, would you like to share?" she asked kindly. Tommy felt his cheeks grow hot. He looked down at his desk, shaking his head. Sarah, the girl next to him, whispered, "It's okay. I was scared too, but it's not so bad." Encouraged by Sarah's words, Tommy slowly raised his hand. "My favourite animal is a tiger," he said softly. Miss Johnson beamed at him. "That's wonderful, Tommy. Tigers are very brave animals." Tommy felt a small surge of pride. At lunchtime, Tommy felt lost in the noisy cafeteria. He stood alone, clutching his lunchbox, unsure where to sit. Sarah spotted him and waved. "Tommy, want to sit with us?" Relieved, Tommy nodded and joined Sarah and a few other children from their class. A boy named Michael asked, "Do you like dinosaurs, Tommy?" Tommy's eyes lit up. "Yeah, I have a whole book about them at home." "Cool!" Michael exclaimed. "Maybe you can bring it sometime?" Tommy smiled, realizing he might have just made a new friend. During playground time, Tommy initially stood by the wall, watching other kids play. Miss Johnson approached him. "Would you like to join a game, Tommy?" Tommy shrugged, unsure. "How about we start a game of catch?" Miss Johnson suggested. Soon, Tommy found himself in a circle with a few classmates, tossing a colourful foam ball back and forth. He started with gentle throws, but as his confidence grew, so did his tosses. "Great catch, Tommy!" Michael exclaimed when Tommy leaped to grab a high throw. Tommy grinned, realizing he was having fun and fitting in with the other kids. In the afternoon, Miss Johnson announced a special activity. "Now, class, we're going to do some storytelling. Who would like to tell us a short story about their favourite toy?" Tommy thought about Mr. Snuggles at home and felt a spark of excitement. Surprising himself, he raised his hand. "Wonderful! Tommy, please come up to the front," Miss Johnson encouraged. Tommy walked to the front of the class, feeling a mix of nervousness and anticipation. He took a deep breath and began. "My favourite toy is a teddy bear named Mr. Snuggles. He's brown and fuzzy and always listens to me. Once I thought I lost him at the park." As Tommy told his simple story about finding Mr. Snuggles behind a bush, he saw his classmates listening intently. Some even giggled at the funny parts. "That was a delightful story, Tommy," Miss Johnson praised. "You're quite the storyteller." The class clapped, and Tommy couldn't help but smile, feeling proud of himself. As the school day ended, Tommy realized he had survived and even enjoyed his first day. His parents were waiting outside. "How was your day, champ?" his father asked. Tommy grinned. "It was scary at first, but then it was fun. Can I come back tomorrow?" His mother laughed, giving him a big hug. "Of course you can. We're so proud of you, Tommy." As they walked home, Tommy chatted excitedly about his new friends and all he had learned. He couldn't wait to see what tomorrow would bring. That night, as his mother tucked him in, Tommy hugged Mr. Snuggles close. "You know what, Mr. Snuggles," he whispered. "Being brave isn't so hard after all." And so Tommy drifted off to sleep, ready to dream of new adventures to come. If you enjoyed tonight's tale, don't forget to share the story with your friends and subscribe to our magical podcast. As the story ends and the children close their eyes, they enter a world where anything is possible, and then they dreamed.